Hey guys, it's April Nicole. So I get tons and tons of requests to do YouTube videos for you guys. I started my YouTube account a while back, posted a couple videos, then I realized, man, this is very time consuming. So I stopped doing them for a little while. It was just easier to post a pretty picture on Instagram every so often, but because of the amount of requests I get from you guys, especially to do product reviews, I decided to do them. So here we are. But I am going to start out with telling you guys the number one thing I get asked all the time. It's a story about how I got into guns, because I haven't always been. In fact, I think a lot of people think that I grew up with them and I'm very comfortable with them. I'm comfortable with them now, but I didn't grow up with them, actually. It's a pretty interesting story, so here we go. So growing up, my dad was a police officer, and even though obviously he had guns, we were not allowed to do anything with them, much less shoot them at all. My mom hated guns, so we were never exposed to them, really. Like, I knew they were around, but we never saw them. Like, you'd walk in the house and I don't know where they went thereafter. So I didn't grow up with them. I wasn't comfortable with them. I didn't know anything about them. Certainly didn't know how to use them. So when I met my husband was actually when the first time I became exposed to guns, and truly it was weird for me. I thought he was really weird and paranoid and odd because he always had guns around. I would like move the pillow or something and I'd be like, oh my God, like, why is there a gun under this pillow? And I'd be like, what is with this guy? Like, what is he paranoid about or scared of? Like, it was just weird, it was very foreign for me. And sometimes I would like look real closely at it, and then I was like, but I didn't really want to touch it because I didn't know anything about it. So it was kind of interesting, just the development of where that went, as far as just like becoming familiar with it just by sight. Even he would try to show me how it worked, tell me da 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 about it, and I was kind of yeah, okay. I wasn't really that interested in what he was saying or how to use it. But the two things that always stayed with me was always because it was a HKUSP expert, so it had the external safety. I remember him always saying, like, make sure the safety's off and make sure there's one in the chamber. Those were the only two things I ever remembered. So sometimes my husband would ask me if I want to go out shooting, and I was like, nah. Would ask me, if I wanted to learn about it, not interested. I really just didn't think it had a purpose. I really wasn't comfortable with it, to be honest. I didn't really feel like it was something I needed to know about, to be quite honest. So I just kind of shrugged it off all the time and didn't really pay attention and didn't really show a lot of interest in it, because I didn't foresee myself ever needing one or wanting one or shooting one or any of those things. So I was wrong. So it finally changed my entire stance and view on guns in its entirety, and showed me that not only are they necessary, but they're actually a very functional tool to have around. Was one night we were sleeping. Our son was upstairs. He's 6 months old, and two guys were trying to break into our house. We were sound asleep, and I can hear the doorknob moving. I could hear the door being kicked. I could hear somebody trying to pry the door open. And to make a long story short, went down to the bottom of the stairs, and my husband turned on the porch light, and we're looking out the window in the peephole, and there's two guys out on the porch, and they see the porch light turn on, and they look at the light, and they continue trying to come in. So that was pretty interesting, that they acknowledge the light like somebody's home, and they're still trying to get in. So at some point the door starts to open, and my husband puts his foot behind the door to try and stop it. But by that point, the momentum of the door is already coming. So he hands the gun back to me. I scoot back up onto the stairwell behind me, and the first guy enters and tries to punch my husband in the face. And he dodges it, gets the guy by the shirt, lifts him up in the air, and throws him into the floor in the living room. And I'm there, trying to aim, and I'm thinking, oh my God, like, what do? I don't know what to do. Like, I never paid attention. So all these thoughts are going through my head, and I'm like, there's no way I can make this shot. Like, I don't really know how to shoot. And they're two tousled up together in a dark room. So I kind of like aborted that mission, and my husband had his knee in that guy's chest and his arm twisted behind him. And so that was under control. And then, in that moment, you're like, wait, there was a second guy. So then my focus goes to the door, and I'm still up on the stairwell. The guy doesn't even see me. He's focused on his friend and my husband that's on top of him in the living room. And so he's about to enter the house, and then I just remembered the two things. make sure the safety's off and make sure there's one in the chamber. So I clicked off the safety and racked the gun, and a bullet popped out. So I was like, okay, I know there's one in there. And I started just yelling expletives, I guess, telling him not to come in the house, not to come in the house, not to move. And he just froze, like did not move. He had his hands to his side. And I just remember seeing the whites of his eyes just would dart to his friend and dart to his friend and back to me. And that's all I remember seeing. I couldn't tell you what he looks like, but it was incredible. Just the fact that like neither of them got injured, neither of them got killed. You know, we got him out of our house. The cops got called, and you know, they went to jail for that. They actually wrote us an apology note, which I will show you at the end of this video. Absolutely insane. So yes, that's what showed me that I needed to figure out how this gun worked, because I thought, what if it jammed? What if it, you know, ran out of ammo and I needed to know how to reload this thing? Like, I wouldn't have had a clue. And I thought, you know, because there was a gun, it stopped this entire situation. Nobody even got hurt with it. Nobody got killed. It put a stop to everything going on. You know, like I said, our son's 6 months old upstairs. A lot of things could have gone wrong had that not been there to stop that situation and get it under control and get it under control quickly. So I realized, you know, they do have a positive purpose, and I did need to know how to use it. So that's when I told my husband, hey, I need to know how to use this. Will you show me? And that's when I started to pay attention. So as I mentioned, the people who broke in wrote us an apology note, left it on our door. So like a couple days later, we showed up at the house, and I was like, what is that thing taped on our door? And yeah, they wrote us an apology note. So there you have it. So you guys, that's what got me into guns. I get that question a lot. So for you girls who may be watching, listen to your boyfriends, husbands. It's important. It is something good to know. It's a useful tool. Hope you never have to use it. I'm so fortunate that I did not have to use it, but I'm glad that I had it. But now I do know how to use it. So anyways, there you guys go. There's the answer to the question I get all the time, what got me into guns, and the rest was a journey. I'm still on that journey. I'm still learning about guns. I built my first AR-15 this past year, which I'll also show you guys on another video. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the story.